Welcome back. One final point before we go tonight. Happy Equal Pay Day. The day feminists tell us this is how far into 2018 we women had to work to make as much money as men did in 2017. The 79 cents on the dollar thing. You know what I'm talking about. The whole women get paid 21% less than men shtick. Aren't you outraged, feminist shriek? If you're not, you must hate women. Well, isn't this the biggest load of nonsense I've ever heard? Listen, I'm a young female working in a very competitive, male-dominated industry. I don't think there's a woman out there who hasn't experienced sexism. Nobody's trying to deny that sexism exists. And sexism clearly is wrong. But this whole women are paid less because of some vast patriarchal conspiracy to keep women subservient, that is a humongous lie. Let's break it down. The gender pay gap is not about sexism. The gender pay gap does exist, and it's because of the choices men and women make in their lives and in their careers. Choices that impact salary. Choices that men and women tend to make differently. Men work more hours than women. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, men who work full-time work, on average, 2 hours longer each week than women who work full-time. Men are far more likely to choose careers that carry physical risk than women. Men choose jobs with longer commutes than women. Men work more overtime than women. Men travel on business trips more often than women. Men choose to work in industries that pay more to begin with than women do. All of these things factor into salary more than genitalia do. If women choose the same careers as men, if women work the same number of hours as men, if women's commutes to work are as long as men's, if women travel on business trips as often as men, if women work as much overtime as men, if women choose jobs that carry as much physical risk as men, then women make equal salaries as men. But women do not choose to do these things, and that's okay. If you want to make equal pay, then make the same choices as men. Nobody's stopping you. Make the same choice. You'll earn the same pay. Until you do that, stop whining. Stop telling little girls they're oppressed. Stop telling my 15-year-old sister that she won't earn as much as men because of her genitalia. Stop telling young girls that men think they're dumb. Stop telling my 15-year-old sister she's doomed to be a victim of the patriarchy. She's not. She's the victim of you. You're using her as a pawn in your political propaganda game. You think if you can gin up enough outrage about this made-up problem, you'll win the women's vote because of their anger towards men. You complain about President Trump being divisive, but your entire strategy for winning people is to enrage and divide, to turn people against each other, to turn women against men. Well, newsflash, a lot of women in this country actually like and respect men. We aren't trying to demonize men, and we don't blame men for our own life choices. The gender pay gap is all about these choices. And it's ironic that feminists who claim they champion choice conveniently ignore the consequences of making choices. Instead, you toss around numbers like 79 cents on the dollar and 21% less than men. But you ignore the fact that in 98% of America's largest 150 cities, single women under 30 make 8% more than their male counterparts. Do you know what that means? That means that before a lot of the choices start factoring into salaries, women actually make more money than men. How's that for sexism? You feminists have backed yourself into a corner where the only way to fix the problem that you invented is to force women to make choices they don't want to make. And forcing women to make choices they don't want to make, well, that's sexism. And that's my final point. You can reach me on Twitter at Liz_Wheeler. If you liked the show, please send me an email at oann.com/contact. In the meantime, catch us here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. And until then, have a good night.